Hello, everybody. Yes, welcome back to our next CUPPA Chat. And we've got another fantastic guest for you once again. Now, this person doesn't just do pantomimes. Oh, no. They also tour with shows as well. I know it's very exciting. And you've been asking lots of questions as I welcome to our CUPPA Chat, the lovely Fee. Hello, Fee.
Hi, hello.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us today. We've had lots and lots of questions come in for you, which is brilliant. I don't know if that's a reflection on them they come because I do pantomime and then there's another new pantomime person. So they're all very excited. So
I know.
I think
and we're like two ends of the panto scale. So.
We are. We'll maybe talk about that a little bit later on as well. We welcome each guest to start with, though, before we get on with our questions, asking the first and most important question of them all, which is, what have you got in your cuppa today? I've got Star Wars, so what have you got?
Well, there's a little clue as to what I normally do in panto.
Well, there you are, you see.
Yeah.
It's a bit villainess, that is.
Say nothing.
and what's in the cup?
For me this morning, coffee.
Coffee?
Coffee. Yeah.
Now, it's a rarity, actually. I've ended up with tea. I don't ever drink tea, so I don't know how this has really happened. So
no, it's about the. I only have 2 in a day, and I have to have them before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Otherwise, I'm awake until about 3 days later.
Oh. So this is gonna like push it just to the limit.
Yeah, it's close. So it's close. I've got time. It's okay.
Well, that's good. At least you've got a drink, and hopefully that will keep you refreshed as we're going along. And I'm also been very busy once again. If you've been watching the CUPPA Chat series, you know that I have been making a new sort of thing, is the best way of explaining it, for all of our guests. And you, Fee, are no different.
I'm excited. I'm excited and scared.
Don't be scared. You will want everyone who's been a guest so far has wanted our gift that I've made them. So this is your one. This is called the Panto Touring Organizer. So it works a little bit like this. You've got a lovely warm woolly hat. Now,
nice, yes.
Panto, obviously I had to have sort of a character hat for you. And then because after when you're touring, you probably like to relax. You might tell us a bit more about that later. So I've got you 2 of those funny bar things that you can look in the bath and just relax and just enjoy yourself, really. But I've also, just in case, because I know you end up getting a lot of talking, I've got you a Bonjela stick as well.
Thanks.
Here you are, you see. And it hangs sort of here. So in case all of a sudden you go, oh my goodness, I need Bonjela, you just do it. And
I'm there.
You got it. Do you think this will change your touring life?
I reckon I could get away with wearing that mid-show.
Yeah, I think so.
Mid-scene, 1 second, I'm just going to Bonjela. There we go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And then no one even noticed, will they?
No, absolutely not.
You just walk around like this. Every character you've played would look like this.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to send this to you in the post then after we're finished.
Amazing. I look forward to it.
You see, the thing is now it's missed the hair up, so there we go. Right, enough of the nonsense. I've got your gift. I've talked about your cup of coffee. It's now time to get on with your questions that we've had in. And as I say, we've had loads of questions in, which is absolutely fantastic. So we better get on with them. I'm going to start the clock. We've got 15 minutes. Here we go. Let's start off with this one, which is probably the thing that people ask the most if they don't do pantomimes, and it is, what is the best thing about acting in a pantomime that you don't normally get to do in other shows?
Panto is very much based on audience. So if you're doing sort of what we call a straight show, which isn't panto, it's like just drama, you kind of expect the audience to just sit and watch. Whereas in a panto, you want people to interact. And especially with the kind of characters that I play, it's more fun if I get more of a response because it means I've got more to work with. So I think probably the audience participation side of it is really fun. And it's also a brilliant time of year because it's Christmas time.
It is. It's normally Christmas. We do get sometimes Easter pantomimes, don't we now, and summer ones, but the main bits, and I'm sure the ones that you enjoy the most are those Christmas ones because everyone's very excited anyway and wanting to join in. Tell us, before we go any further, because it isn't a question, but let's get it out there. We sort of hinted with your cup. Who do you play in Panto normally? What's the character you normally play?
Oh, I'm normally the baddie. I love playing a Panto villain. It's much more fun. I love it.
I feel like, as you say, we're
I
completely
see you at
opposite
two ends of the scale.
Yeah, because I'm normally the one having to defeat the baddies normally in pantomime. So I'm normally defeating you. Well, there you are. So what sort of responses are you looking for then if you're a villain? You said that's your favourite bit. Is it the booing you mostly want, or do you like a bit of hissing or...
I like some booing, some hissing. Occasionally, it's nice when somebody answers back. Not all the time, because we want to get through the show. Otherwise, the show would be 3 hours long. But there have been times when somebody's gone, "You're really mean," and I'll stand there and go, "Yes, I am. Correct."
Yes, I am.
And it just adds a little bit more to what's going on. And it's really nice when you've got something like, say, if I'm doing Maleficent and it's Sleeping Beauty, and you've got all the way through Act 1 and you've told everybody your evil plan. And then you've done it at the end of Act 1, and it just gives the audience something to fight for, because they want the prince to come and rescue the princess, or they want Jack to climb the beanstalk, or they want Cinderella to go to the ball. And I've helped them feel that, which is nice.
Yeah. So probably as a comedy character in Panto, we want laughs, obviously, and we want the applause. I suppose what you want as a villain is those boos. That's knows when you've done your job right. Yeah,
absolutely. And you do you want the adults to get a little bit like, ooh, as well. It's really nice if you've got adults that sit there and go, oh, I wouldn't mess with her. That means I'm doing my job for the whole audience as well, which is really important.
As a side question, how does it feel? Because I know a lot of people have asked me the opposite way around, so I'm going to ask you this way around. How does it feel to be booed all the time, though? Does it feel a bit like, oh, it's a bit nasty, isn't it? Or are you happy because that's the character?
I'm playing a character.
Yeah.
You know, I know they don't mean it to me personally, and it's really nice at the same time if like the theatres where I've done Panto before, you might do a meet and greet afterwards, and you'll get kids that will come up to you being really scared because they've seen you as this big, scary character on stage, and then they meet you and go, oh, actually, she's quite nice. I'm just pretending. But, I mean, I like getting booed, but sometimes you do have to pull the scene back because people can get a little bit overexcited. And
yes.
But let's stop now. Let's carry on with the story.
Yeah, be quiet.
And that's when the real villain comes out, and it's very much, you know.
It's when you want to go home and you want to finish the show. So now be quiet. Let me finish the scene.
I've stood on stage before and gone, I will wait. It's your own time you're wasting. Are you done? Are you finished? Yeah, good. I'll carry on now.
Oh, good. Oh, I'd love to see you in a pantomime. I
think we need to do one together.
Oh, we should. I mean, that'll be brilliant, wouldn't it?
It'd be madness, but it'd be great.
Let's have another question.
Yes.
Can you tell us how you got into acting? Did you go to drama school? This one comes up a lot, and it's so interesting to hear different people's routes, actually. So how did you get into acting?
Well, I was never going to be an actor.
Okay.
I know. I was going to be a musician. So I started learning flute from being about 7. And then when I went to secondary school, I was still doing flute, started having singing lessons, and I was going to go down that route so that when I was 18, I was going to finish college, go to uni and do music. I didn't really feel for it at the time. I wasn't ready to move away from my parents. I didn't know if I wanted to do music. So I took a double gap year, basically, and I got a proper job. And I worked in a pharmacy. So I worked in a chemist, putting all the prescriptions together for patients and stuff, and did a little bit of Amdram on the side, just because I'd done pantos when I was little. So I'll go back into that a little bit. And then we did a 4-show run. I can't remember what the show was. It's that long ago. Oh, I did Bugsy Malone. That was it. We did Bugsy Malone. I was Knuckles.
Ah, very good.
And that was when I kind of went, oh, I like this. This is fun. So I thought, oh, this could be something I could look into. So I joined a youth theatre because I was still young enough at the time. Very big youth theatre up in Oldham. Very, very good one. And I applied to a University of Cumbria. So I didn't do drama school. I went and did performing arts in a university, but my degree was slightly different because it wasn't just performing, it was working backstage, it was teaching, it was directing, writing, business, everything to do with the industry. So that's what I did, and then I graduated 2012 and I've been working ever since.
Yeah, and actually a lot of people we work with that have gone through the youth theatre always ask that question: do I need to go to a drama school, or can I go to university? So that's really good that obviously you've made it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you went to university.
I'll be honest, it's not been easy. You know, if I had gone to drama school, maybe I'd have gone down a different path. Maybe I'd have done film, TV. Maybe I'd have done more static theatre. But I've done what was right for me and what I wanted to do. And I've had so many different experiences that it's been good. Yeah,
and actually, because you got to learn the different the ways, the business side of it as well. People forget about that. You have to most of the time become self-employed. Obviously, when you're an actor, so you have to work for yourself and do all your own books. So at least you got to learn that as well. So good, interesting. And hopefully a lot of you, we know that you are obviously having to make your choices about drama schools or college or university. You know, it doesn't matter, it's what's right for you. So
Alan Rickman didn't get his first film role until 43.
There you are, you see. So it doesn't matter, does it? You just, as long, if you're going to work hard enough, you'll get it. So let's move on to another question. We had a few about touring, so let's have a touring question now. How did you get into a touring show? Does it work the same as like an audition, or is it again who you know? How does it work?
So the touring that I did touring for 4 years.
Oh my word!
Continuously, I didn't stop.
Oh my goodness!
But it was theatre in education, so it was going into schools. It was living with your team. So there were 4 of you in a team, and you'd rehearse together for 2 weeks, and then you go out on the road. So over winter we'd do Panto, and over the summer and autumn terms we'd do shows based on children's books. It was a bit more educational, even though it's all educational.
Yeah.
I started doing it slightly differently to most people. Most people that do it will have an audition. I'd graduated from uni. I was doing supply teaching, so I was going into secondary schools and being your lovely, horrible supply teacher that you all pick on.
Yeah.
You know, oh, it's a supply, yes. And I'd been given the morning off, so I thought, well, use my time wisely. I'll go onto some casting websites, because there's lots of websites out there you can use to apply for auditions, to apply for extras work. There's loads of stuff out there. And I found this job for this theatre company. And I sent them my CV, sent them an email saying I've sent this through, and the production manager rang me back about 20 minutes after I'd sent it in, asking me if I wanted to audition for Panto. So this was in the April. And she was asking me to audition in the May for the Panto starting in October.
Yeah.
She then went, can I ring you back in 5 minutes? I went, yeah, fine. And she rang me back in 5 minutes and went, I need someone to come and play the Queen of Hearts next week.
Oh gosh.
Do you want to do a phone audition this afternoon, and we'll see if we can get you in? So I applied at 10 o'clock, had the audition booked from about 12, did the audition at 4:30, and at 7:30 got told I was going on the road the week after.
Oh wow, very quick.
I did 4 years for them.
Wow. So actually, it was just the right moment in time, really.
Right place. A lot of it is right place, right time. You know, you've just got to keep on try and create those opportunities, so you can possibly be in the right place at the right time. Because everything I've done since then has come from that touring job that I did for 4 years. You know, I did 12 tours for them in the end, on and off.
Oh wow. Yeah, how I've never heard of a phone audition before. How did the phone audition work? Because obviously they can't see you or anything, so it's
they obviously got my headshot and all my sort of physical details, height and all that, hair colour and all that kind of thing. And then we had a chat on the phone. She asked me my experience. I sang 4 bars of The Wizard and I and got offered the job.
Oh, there you are. Well, it must have been a good phone call.
Yeah. I have been to their. I have assisted in their auditions since then, and it's you have to do a random dance routine, and it's not a set routine. It's not choreographed. It's just you dance along to the music to show that you can move. You had to do a little bit of script work and sing a song and have an interview. That was their audition process.
Yeah, and because actually, I suppose touring, unlike a static show, because we're planning on doing a tour later on the year ourselves with some of the community. It's about being adaptable, because sometimes the space is, you're promised probably a lovely large room and you've got a cupboard. Yeah. You know, is that what they're looking for?
Or you get there and there's a low ceiling and you go, we're not going to fit. Okay.
Yeah.
There is that, but also you've got to bear in mind that with this kind of touring, you're living with the people you're working with. You are with these people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 7 months of the year.
Yeah.
That's actually hard.
Which brings us on to this next question that someone's asked, is how long do you stay in each location when touring with a show? And how does it feel? And does it feel like you're always on the move? Did you ever feel like you get up, I'm here. Oh no, I'm off again. How does that feel? Depends
on the tour. It literally depends on the tour route. I've done tours where I've moved every week. I've done tours where I did 2 months in Ireland. That was amazing. You find that you get used to the moving, and it means that when you do stop in one place for a few weeks at a time, you can appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, you can take your stuff out of your suitcase and put it in the wardrobe. That bit is hard. But yeah, you get the appreciation for staying in one place. And when you are in one place for a long time, it means you can go out and explore on the weekends. So, you know, when we went to Belfast, we were in Belfast for 2 months, and it meant we could go to Belfast, we could go to Dublin, we went up to where they filmed Game of Thrones, we went up to the Giant's Causeway. Because we were there for so long, we could explore while we were there. So there's that benefit to touring as well.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I have been to every single town in the UK.
Oh, really?
Except
have you got
a
favourite? Have you got a favourite?
Surely
Wellingborough.
Wellingborough was nice. Yeah, that's up there. My favourite would probably have to be when we used to stay in Thamesmead. Really scary place to stay because it's proper like inner city London, which for me, being from the Pennines in the middle of nowhere, is like, but yeah, half an hour train ride into London. So we were going out to see a show every night.
Yeah,
you know,
wonderful.
You want to go see Wicked tonight? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and that's when you're lucky when you're working around that, because you've got so many opportunities to go and see so many different things, which is wonderful. Oh yeah, thank you for answering that. That was really good. Let's go back to pantomime, because we had a lot of panto questions, so let's do some more again. What is the best pantomime to perform in, and why? Someone asked. And I know that's hard, but this is what people are asking.
I am biased because I've played her 4 times now, so it has to be Sleeping Beauty, because I love Maleficent. I think she's just fabulously evil, and the way I play her, there's no motive behind it. She just likes to be mean.
Yeah.
I cancelled Christmas on Christmas Eve one year. It was great.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, I did.
Really? Oh, right.
Yeah, I did.
Why do you think, because Maleficent, especially with Disney as well, is right up there? Why do you think Maleficent is the main baddie as such?
I don't know if she is. This is the thing. Okay. She's for me, she's my main baddie. Now I'm going to get into technicality now. When you start going into the industry and you start looking at jobs, you start looking at something called your casting bracket. I don't know if you've talked about that before. And you look for the characters that suit you, that you know you can play well. Now, I'm very tall and I'm very well built. So for me, I have quite a lot of stage presence just standing there. So Maleficent for me as a character is a good one to play, because I know I can step on stage and not have to push it too far to get the response that we're wanting from the audience. That's why for me she's a good villain. For other people it might be something totally different. I know people that love the evil stepmother, or love Abanazar, or love, I mean there's so many. Captain Hook. I'd love to play Captain Hook, but it's not in my casting bracket. So it's just, for me, that's why she's the best one for me. But I think they're all equally evil, you know. It's great.
This is why I don't get cast as a prince.
I've
always wanted to be a prince.
I've always wanted to be Dandini. It's never happened
there
yet.
You are, you see. I've done that one at least, but I normally get...
Oh, all right, don't rub it in.
I normally get the camp comedy one. I don't know what that's saying about me, but there you go. So Laura's laughing in the background. That's not very nice, is it? It's not very nice, Laura, laughing at me in the background. So... Let's have another question.
Yes.
What is the best pantomime song you've had to sing on stage? I thought that was quite interesting because it all depends on obviously the time you're doing the show as well. There's certain sort of pop songs that appear, isn't there? So what's been the best one for you?
2014 was a good year. That was a good panto year. I've got two actually, very quickly. First one, obviously, I go on about her a lot. Maleficent. Last time I did Sleeping Beauty, the opening to Act 2 was Rotten to the Core from The Descendants.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I like Descendants.
And I had lots of minions dancing around me and things.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I just had to stand there and rap and sing, and they just danced around me and made me look good. So that was good. The other one, I didn't actually sing, but I did a tour of Cinderella, and I went completely off brand and played the fairy godmother.
Oh, okay.
Which when I got that email saying, "Want to meet your fairy godmother?" You're feeling okay? All right. We'll give it a bash. We'll give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go.
And it's some versions of Cinderella, they don't all do it, but it's when Cinderella the ugly sisters are ready for the ball. Mm-hmm. They've come out in their funny costumes. Cinderella comes in her dress with her invitation, and the ugly sisters realise that she's made it out of their dresses, and they rip the dress, and then the stepmother tells Cinderella to rip up the invitation, and it's heartbreaking. It's so sad, and the way we did it, I used to cry every show because the girl that played Cinderella was phenomenal. But then I used to come on as the fairy godmother, and it was one of the old Disney parade songs, you know, just like we dreamed it. That one, but it was all done through mime, and it's when we tidied up the kitchen, it's when we gave her the dress, when we grew Buster the mouse to full size, we got the pumpkin and the carriage, and it was essentially the end of Act 1.
Yeah.
And it was all done through mime, and it was all timed with different tings. So every time I did this with my wand, I had to time it to make sure it went at the same time as a ting. And that's how the magic happened. And it was always, every single show, it went perfectly. There was always a minute where I'd be like, oh, is it going to happen? Is that yes?
Yes, but it is.
But because of it being a school show, I was in the audience with the children.
Oh, wow.
With the school. And I was watching it and doing the magic with them and being that close to the audience, seeing everybody's faces like, oh, it doesn't get better.
Yeah.
Even though she's a goodie, you know, I'll let it slide. She's a goodie. But,
you have to be a goodie every so often.
I've got to do it once in a while, haven't I?
Oh, fair enough.
Occasionally.
Right. Oh no, you've got to do it occasionally. I end up being a baddie like once every 1,000 years. But yeah, it doesn't happen very often, as you say. Right, I've got to introduce someone now. I've told her many a times that it's my interview with you. CUPPA Chat is to do with me. But she always insists on coming and asking a question. So everyone, welcome, Laura.
Hi, Laura. Oh, it's nice to see you. Bye, Gary.
No, you don't need a wooing sound. What do you think this is, Wembley?
Yeah.
No, right, get on with it. Come on.
Absolutely. Yes.
Come in a bit more, love. We can't see you. There we go.
Since you are a touring professional, what is...
Oh, a touring professional. Oh.
How do you find stuff to do when you're not in the tour? So your downtime and...
So when you're on tour, what do you do when you're not performing?
Yeah, what do you do when you're not performing? Or is there certain meals that you like to cook when you're on tour?
So I have to go with the food question because it's all about food, I think. When I used to tour with the teams on the road, not so much now, because now it's slightly easier, but back then we used to cook as a team. So I'd managed this really clever system where we'd all go shopping together and do a meal plan. They'd prep, I'd cook, they'd clean. So it was great. But we used to, it was all, you have to make sure you're eating well. You have to make sure you're eating healthily. So I was a big fan of batch cooking. So I'd make something on the Monday when we first arrived at wherever we were staying and make something for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And then it means I'm not using up the kitchen. I'm not having to spend loads of money, you know. Fan of a shepherd's pie, lasagna, pasta.
And actually, I have to admit at this moment in time, when me and Fee worked together on a project, that was the first thing she said to us. And actually, she was completely right, because I just brought like pot pasta along, and that was not going to happen.
No, what did I ban?
What did you ban?
What did I ban?
Well, you like microwave meals and things, didn't you? Did you?
Microwave burgers.
Microwave burgers. See, I don't eat them anyway, so I was all right with that one. But yeah, you've got to eat properly.
You've got to eat properly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a very active job. I think people think even if you're just standing on stage and reeling off an evil plan, you're engaging all your body and you're using your voice, and you are running backstage to get to where you need to be. It's still very physical, so you've got to make sure that you're eating right. If you're eating loads of sugar and chocolate and fizzy drinks, you're just not gonna do it.
No, it's not
going to happen. I've tried. I can't do it.
I get away with it every day, but I mean, not on shows. So, well, thank you, Laura. That was a good question. We'll see you later. Bye. Right, we've got time for just a couple more quick fire questions. So let's do it. This one made me laugh, so I'm going to ask you this one. Someone literally put the comment of, Panto texts take a long time. Is this true? So obviously someone maybe's done one before. Is it true?
Yes. Yes. Any show will always take a long time because it's the first time the technical team have had a chance to get in that theatre, get all the lights on, get everything programmed, and they've got to make sure it's right. And unfortunately for us actors, it's just something that we've got to do. They're doing that to make you look good or evil or magical, whatever.
And I always like to say it's their rehearsal, isn't it?
It's the text rehearsal, and I do technical theatre as well. I do stage management, and for that team, it is incredibly stressful because they're also aware that you want to rehearse.
Yeah.
So you've got to work together. Like if they ask you to stand in a certain space, do it, because the sooner you've done it, it's done, and then you can do your dress rehearsal. So you've got to work together.
Yeah, we had Lauren in the last episode, who is the stage manager of Phantom and Les Mis at the minute. I know. She's absolutely fantastic. And she was saying exactly the same as you. If we actually just work together, then we get the tech done even quicker. We haven't got to hang around. And but yeah.
And if you know you're going to be sat, take a book. Don't sit on your phone.
Take a book. Take a book.
Read. Don't sit on your phone. It's one of them.
Yeah, or some actors that I've worked with before can take their script.
That's always a good one. Although hopefully by the time you got to the tech, you should know your lines.
Meow. Yeah, that was a bit naughty. Sorry. Yeah, I should have said that. Right. Anyway, let's move on to the next question before I get fired. What secret can you tell us from backstage at Pantomime? Is there any secrets that you can tell us? Obviously, no names. We don't want names, but we want a bit of gossip.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's really difficult.
Or maybe something that from like a performance point of view, is there trapdoors all over the place, or is it really all sparkling behind the set? Something like that.
It's not all sparkling behind the set.
No.
As soon as you step off that stage into the wings, it's just full of ladders and ropes and wires and techies. I've got a funny story. I can tell you a funny story.
Yeah, go on. That would
I'll tell you a funny story. So I was doing a panto up north. This was a couple of years ago, and I was the company manager, so I wasn't performing. Funnily enough, it was Sleeping Beauty. And I jokingly said at the start of the run, by the end of this, if the baddie goes down, I'll be able to play a part. I'll know it. I'll have seen it 43 times. And then on the final weekend of shows, the baddie got bronchitis.
Oh.
So
you cursed the actor, didn't you?
No. Because it was the biggest theatre I'd ever worked in as well. It was a massive show, massive venue, massive audience. And the head of the theatre went, "You're playing her this morning, you do realise?" I went, So I was reading my script, trying to remember the lines that I didn't have in my head from seeing it 43 times, running on stage and doing scenes alongside a celebrity fairy.
Oh, right.
Which added an extra level of And then I was running off to read the next bit to make sure I could get on stage. It was the most terrifying weekend of my life, but it was amazing at the same time.
Yeah. But actually, it's stories like that you will remember, isn't it?
That's something to bear in mind, to be fair, that pantos, you don't get understudies.
No. You
don't really have an understudy, you're on.
Yeah,
right?
About to say, we sometimes when we've done them have the dancers as the understudies, but bless the dancers, they've got enough to deal with anyway. So,
absolutely, they've got routines to remember and things. You can't ask them to remember a whole show as well. There's not enough brain space.
No, and actually, I think it's probably beneficial you saying if you're in a pantomime to actually kind of learn everything else, because you do get things chucked on you quite late and going, oh my goodness, the person's lost their voice. Can you do this song instead? Or, you know, it's good to learn everything.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we've got time for one more question before we have to stop. So let's do this one. Lots of actors say that Panto is the best show to perform in. Someone said, is this true?
I'm trying to be diplomatic here. I think everybody has their own taste. So a Shakespearean actor would say Shakespeare would be the best. Somebody who does straight theatre would say that. Somebody who works in entertainment would say that theirs is the best. Somebody, I don't know, for example, who might work in a tourist attraction might say that that's the best.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own opinion. For me, I love Panto. After doing it for 4 years continuously, I'll be honest, I did need a break. But now that I've stepped away from it and I'm coming back into doing it, it's nice to be back in that evil, possibly even torturous persona. It's quite fun.
My goodness, that sounds intriguing, doesn't it?
It's great.
Thank you so much for answering the questions, and thank you all for sending them in. I'm sorry we didn't get to ask all of them, but
they were really good questions, by the way. Like those, I've done a lot of Q&As in my time, and those are some of the best questions I've had.
Oh, so, good. Yeah, as I say, we do have some good members out there. You all watching, so well done, you guys. So that's very good. If you want to follow what Fee does and so on, we'll link all of her socials that are open, obviously, publicly for you guys to have a look at and see what other stuff she's been getting up to and going to get up to. So we'll put that on the video when we post this, so you'll be able to see it underneath. However, Fee, we've got one last thing that we're asking all of our guests. Oh, look, she's nervous.
I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this.
This is the part of the show that everyone looks forward to, because this is the 30-second drink challenge. Now, we find out a lot about a person we've found out doing this game because 30 drinks come out. Lauren, in the last one, as we were saying, the stage manager, spoke mostly about energy drinks. But then we had... Yes,
stage managers and energy drinks are a thing,
And then we had Victoria, for example, from The Mousetrap, who went completely alcoholic. So, I mean, we'll find out what you go down. So we're going to give you...
Amazing.
30 seconds on the clock.
This is giving me like palpitations, Gary.
Well, the score to beat is actually 26.
Oh,
so
right. You shouldn't have told me that.
Out there. Okay, I didn't hear that. Okay, so you're going to have 30 seconds. Just name as many drinks as you can, and the clock starts now.
Coffee, tea, peppermint tea, sleep tea, orange juice, cranberry and raspberry juice, pineapple juice, apple juice, mango juice, tropical juice, orange squash, blackcurrant squash, cherryade, lemonade, limeade, Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Cherry Coke, Dr. Pepper, what's the worst that could happen? Tesco's own brand Coke. Tonic water, tonic slimline water, elderflower cordial.
Hey, that was pretty good. I'm very impressed. Well, there was one in that absolutely made me laugh, and I can't remember.
Was it Tesco's own brand Coke? Oh, sleep tea. No, I have sleep tea.
Yeah,
sleep tea.
Sleep tea.
Yeah, sleep tea's a thing. Yeah.
Is it? Well,
Twinings. Yeah, I've got 2 boxes in the cupboard ready for next week.
Wow. Well, that's very posh.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know what? You've done pretty well. I do have to say so. I'm just adding it up. You've got 27 points.
Yes!
Well done. That means you are in first place with 27 points. Our lovely Victoria's in second now with 26. And then we've got Lauren in third with 16. So you've done pretty well. You could win. I didn't even tell you what you were going to win. You could win 20,000 GLJ points.
And prize.
You can't spend them anywhere, but you could win 20,000 GLJ points. And you've obviously got your invention as well.
There we go, say.
Oh, thank you so much for speaking to us today. And we'll let you know if you are the winner, obviously.
Yeah, please do. I'm very competitive, so, you know.
I'm very impressed with that. I was very impressed. Thank you again so much for answering our questions and coming on to chat with us today. And as I say, if you want to keep an eye on what Fee's up to, we'll link it all in so you can see what she's doing as well. Thank you, Fee, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye now.
Bye.